Alrighty, 5 things we learned watching Manchester United draw with West Ham at home 1-1. Let's just jump into it. Deflating again, like this is another deflating loss, and I'm going to pick out the manager here. This hasn't been something that I've been trying to do much because Ineos and the club have made it very clear that Rúben Amorim is here to stay. Whether he's been productive or not, he's here to stay. And I'm going to pick out his subs because I thought they were awful. In a game that United held the ball and ultimately was just kind of seeing out the match, he brought in another 6 to go alongside Casemiro. I said it on our podcast that we'll be dropping tonight as well, that if you move Bruno Fernandes into the 10, Mainu automatically has to come into the game because of the way that the two midfielders are able to progress the ball. Ugarte is one of the worst ball-playing midfielders I think I've ever seen. He looks scared. He looks timid. He can't make the right passes. He had like 19 passes today, and they were all short within 5 yards. I just find that an inexcusable thing. United are not good enough defensively for them to be pulling off players and then going defensive. And I think the other thing to that is if you are tactically going to make that change to go defensive, put on Ugarte, then fucking park the bus. West Ham couldn't beat you with open play. Their only way to get into the game was off a set piece or off a counterattack, and bringing in Ugarte did exactly that. Dalot was really good today. He gets hooked. Xerxes, our only striker. We take him off and we put in Bumo up front, which we haven't done at all this season. I just don't get it anymore. His press conferences have been super awful when explaining these things. I think Man United fans just want an answer. His idea about second balls is great in theory, but that's not where United needed to be winning that game. They needed to just see out the match with 15 minutes left, just pass it around. But no, they didn't do that. They went for another goal with Ugarte on the field. See, it's just mind-boggling. And I'm going to move on to my second point, which is I don't know what Kobbie Mainoo needs to do to get minutes anymore. I think I was early on in the season maybe a little too protective of Amorim when it came to the subject because I thought, you know what, like Bruno Fernandes is one of the best midfielders in the world, and he's playing a role and he's doing a job in the 8. What I don't understand is when you move Bruno forward, how this guy can't get in the team. And I don't want to hear that Ugarte makes more sense in the system because he doesn't. He's awful. Kobbie Mainoo is one of the best players that the United team has to offer. He's one of the best prospects. This isn't just some academy kid. He's proven at the world level, at the Euros, and in FA Cup finals that he is the dude. He even showed it last year in the Europa League. To say that we don't have players of quality off the bench is one thing. To say that Kobbie Mainoo is not good enough to get into a team and get minutes is ridiculous. I look at this like Phil Foden last year, and obviously 2 very different situations. Phil Foden had some mental stuff going on at Manchester City, but Pep Guardiola did everything in his power to make Kobbie Mainoo, to make Phil Foden comfortable and gave him minutes to try to get him back on track, which ultimately I think has helped him this season. What I can't understand is Amorim doesn't have, this is a really rattling subject for me. Amorim doesn't have a young guy that he can look at and be like, that's my guy. Mainoo should be every manager's wet dream, if we're being completely fucking honest. So I can't understand how this guy isn't able to get any minutes. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's mind-boggling, and it's upsetting. I think as a culture person for United, like it's built in youth and success and courage, right? Those are the fucking pillars of the club. And they don't want to like build one of their best talents up. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to think? It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. In a game where Kobbie Mainoo could have totally came in and just saw the match, we didn't give him the opportunity. Lesson 3. Dalot was good again. This is my shit sandwich. Obviously, you pick up a point, which is better than a loss, I guess. This is a loss that feels like a draw that feels like a loss. But Diego Dalot's finding some form here, especially at that left wing back spot. He's going to be a really crucial player come AFCON. Like, if he can play at this level and do things going forward, United are going to absolutely need it. Like, I don't know what the answers are going to be in AFCON, but Diego Dalot, if he can play like this, can be potentially one of the answers. And for all the shit that he's gotten from me and from other fans, like, good on him for just putting in a shift, putting in a good performance, back-to-back matches. And hopefully this is just a confidence builder for him because United need it. Back to shit. Toothless. I have this image of Ama diving in the box because I think it summed up the game for me. United were more worried about falling over in the box and looking for penalties than they were with actually getting off shots, getting in good positions, scoring chances. This is the second straight game, obviously, that we've had better XG than our opponent, but United just don't look like scoring. They get good chances, they let them go awry. Cunha had a chance where Mbumo, again, tried to flop in the box, and it takes a deflection and goes out, and United just didn't really do anything. The Dalot chance being like a half chance, and it goes in, that goes to maybe the structure of the system. It goes to the players. Amon and Mbumo have not been at the races the last couple of games. I'm not going to give them too much stick because they're our best players, but there's a lot of chop and change here too. Like Xerxes is not C.O.C. I've been pretty clear on that, and it's changing the way that Mbumo plays. And Cunha being back was a good sign in terms of getting him minutes, but with him being in and out of the squad all the time now, I don't know how I expect him to do anything more. And it sucks because this is very reminiscent of the way that it was last season with United. And so at some point you have to figure it out. And lesson 5. I still have no faith in Amorim and the way that things are going. I said it a while ago. I think after the Grimsby losses, I just don't think he can get this back on track to where I think United can be a great team. I don't even know if he can necessarily be a good team. I think this season is just going to be a lot of this. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, maybe 1 draw. Look, I think they're set up in a way where they aren't going to get pumped off the park, but I don't think they're set up in a way in which they're going to go out and easily win matches. And it's deflating as a United fan where your momentum is constantly cut off at the head of the snake, right? Because United built that 3-game winning streak and it was all sunshines and rainbows. And then now you've got like 4 draws in the last 5 or whatever it is. And every time it feels like there could be some positivity, you get a big win against Crystal Palace away from home. You come to play one of the worst sides in the Premier League this season and you can't see out a 1-0. It's not good. If your team can't get clean sheets, your team can't score with the best of them, I don't know where I'm supposed to have faith. And that's where I'm going to end this 5 things. Oh, look at me messing up the last one here. There we go. Not 5 things, Chelsea. 5 things United. I'm curious to hear if anybody's got thoughts on positives from this. I seriously doubt there's any United fan that has positives. Is there any Amorim fans that are still kind of feeling this one out and have a good explanation? Because I don't. And I've been pretty good about backing the manager. I'm running out of steam. But that's all I have time to rant for. If you guys like this stuff, I'm Dylan of C.O.C Network. Clash of Clubs is the Premier League podcast that will be posted as well tonight. So if you enjoy this content, go and check out the pod. We deep dive into a lot of that stuff. You can see me get a lot more angry. And you can hear Mila and Grant, my 2 buddies, get under my skin about it too. But until the next video, peace.